Kira wants a quiz on Friday? Okay. So, given that cos of alpha is negative 4 over 5, first of all, we always think, just like the last question, you think of your cast rule. What quadrants could this be in? Cos is negative. It could be, no, 4 cos is positive. It's going to be either in 2 or 3. So you draw an angle in quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. You label your reference angle back to the nearest x-axis for both of them. And if cos is negative 4 over 5, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, you could label the adjacent side as 4, the hypotenuse is 5. Adjacent side here is 4, hypotenuse is 5. It says, find the other trig ratios. So, I have one tiny little error here with my reference angle. What's my angle is alpha, so my reference angle labeled here should not be theta r, it should be alpha r. Alpha is another Greek letter. Great, eh?
Yeah, I know what alpha means. Wait,
Same thing as difference between A and B.
you know what alpha is?
Different letters.
Alpha's a man with balls.
Okay. Could you figure out what the length of this other side is? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If you did A squared plus B squared equals C squared, you would find out that that other side would equal 3. Okay? So if this was alpha, if alpha was in quadrant 2, then what's sine of alpha? Opposite over hypotenuse. 3 over 5. In quadrant 2, would sine be positive or negative? Sine would be positive. If you wanted to find tan of alpha, tan is opposite over adjacent. 3 over 4. In quadrant 2, it would be negative. In quadrant 3, what's sine of alpha in quadrant 3? Well, it's still going to be 3 over 5, but according to the cast rule, sine is negative in quadrant 3. And tan of alpha is still 3 over 4, but in quadrant 3, tan would be positive. So in part A, it says determine the other trig ratios, while sine alpha could be 3/5 or negative 3/5. Tan of alpha could be negative 3/4 or positive 3/4. And then it says we need to find the possible values for alpha. Again, whenever you're solving for an angle, find the reference angle first. So when you're dealing with a reference angle, it doesn't matter which triangle you use because you're always going to use positive values. And you can choose, do you want to use sine, cos, or tan? So if you decide to use tan, you would say tan of my reference angle is opposite over adjacent, which is 3 over 4. I'd go to my calculator since that isn't one of the ones I have memorized. Tan inverse of 3 divided by 4, 37 degrees to the nearest degree. So my reference angle is 37 degrees, and then from that, if this is 37 degrees, I can label it in there. If this is 37 degrees, what's this angle going to be? Alpha would equal 180 minus 37. (143 degrees). And here, if this is 37 degrees, what's this angle going to be? Alpha would equal 180 degrees plus 37, 217 degrees. Try number 13.